Okay. So for the past four and few months that you've been doing this job, how many women have you slept with?
The past couple of months.
No, for the past 4 years that you've been doing this job, how
Okay,
many
okay.
women have you done it with? How many women have you slept with?
I would say probably over 100. Probably
Okay.
over.
Okay. And how many movies have you shot?
Probably 200 or 300.
Okay. So that means you repeat the woman at times.
Yes, yes. Sometimes we shoot multiple videos. Yes.
Okay. Do you guys do checkouts before you go into the act, or you just meet the person, they bring the person, you guys start shooting?
No, we absolutely get checked up. That's a mandatory requirement of me as well as many other production studios and houses in the adult film industry. There are some companies that in the United States, I'm not sure about other countries. I'm sure other countries have other ways of going about it. But in the United States, we utilize uh, different companies. We have Clear, we have talent testing, but Clear is currently pass certified, so that's why I personally choose to go to Clear as opposed to go to talent testing. And being pass certified is very important because they pretty much govern that aspect of the industry and make sure that all performers and everybody's safety is a priority, and that outbreaks as far as sexually transmitted diseases and sexually transmitted infections are tracked and everybody is known excuse me, is aware of what's going on. So
Have you done it with a guy before?
I'm sorry?
Have you done it with a guy before?
No, I'm a straight heterosexual man. I don't have sex with men.
Okay. Has any of the women that you've done it with gotten pregnant, or it is out of the way, it is part of the contract that nobody should get pregnant?
I've never had that in the contract, but I have gotten somebody that I've collaborated with pregnant in the past, but they got an abortion.
Oh, okay. Why abortion? You don't want a child?
It was a choice we made between ourselves at the time. I'm not ready to be a parent at the moment, but in the future, I would like to be.
How is it short? Is it take us through pre-production, shoot, and post-production?
Got you. So for me, my process, although I am working to improve it, because I feel like if I can improve the process in which I go about pre-production, production, and post-production, essentially make my job and my business run way more efficiently than it currently does. So right now, how I go about finding talent, that's pretty much where we begin. I also handle that myself. I don't have anybody hired to do that for me at the moment. I utilize social media. Social media is one of my places that I utilize to find, scout talent. I also go to adult industry events, mainly in the United States. I haven't been to any outside of the United States yet, but I am looking forward to, because I did some research and I know that they have some outside of the US as well. So I find talent there. Sometimes I have women that have been watching my films for a few years, and they might see me in the street. In the United States as well as other countries, I'm pretty famous, so I get recognized just about every day. And sometimes women, they inquire about participating in adult movies. So sometimes situations like that. What else? Sometimes I might be referred talent by either women that I've already worked with in the past, or I might be referred by a friend or an acquaintance. They may be like, "Hey, I've got this woman she's interested in getting into the industry or just being in one of your films. Would you like to work with her? Yes, no. So that's how I go about finding talent. Then how I go about coming up with the concepts and the ideas as far as what we actually shoot and what's actually produced. Well, we have a discussion. I till this point, well, not till this point, from about 2019 to I would say 2021 or middle of 2022. Primarily, I was just looking to produce films that would go viral on social media. That's essentially how I picked up the moniker, the viral porn star. So one of the main things that I was looking to do in the films that I was producing during that time period was to create and produce films that would generate a lot of buzz on social media. And I was very successful at doing that. But recently I pivoted because, well, one, I wanted to branch into a different sector of film, which is why I had to learn the skills that I was explaining to you earlier, conversation. I wanted to go from doing stuff for just mobile and web to also doing theater, like what I'm sitting in now, and being able to watch films on a theater screen like what I'm sitting in front of right now. And you know, that's a difference, a big difference.
So let's look at the shoot. Do you shoot straight or it is cut and paste? You shoot, you break, you continue, they add all of them together, or it is like if it's 30 minutes straight?
It depends. It depends. So primarily, it's not all the way straight through. I've produced something that's called Gonzo, which is essentially, it's not really a script. It's not really like planned. Is sort of, we just have sex on camera and it's captured. They call that Gonzo. That's what I primarily produce. Sometimes there are ideas that may pop up in a spur of the moment, or we may have had an idea in mind before we shot, and we sort of just improvised or improv during production. So that's what I've done till this point. But you know, I am really looking to transition into also doing live. I'll be honest. I wanted to get into doing you know, I don't know if you've been keeping up, but there's been a big interest on from my fan base for seeing something like a sexual match or bouts, or you know, where they essentially want to see like I don't know, like some kind of like competitive sex. And I've really been entertaining the idea for a while. And that would have to be produced differently. That would be shot live, kind of like this conversation that we're having now.
Okay. So what is the longest that you've gone, like in a shot? The longest minutes or hours that you've gone?
Without stopping?
Yeah.
Probably over an hour.
Straight?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't you get tired?
Man, I work out every day. I do strength training. I work on my cardio, and man, I'm really dedicated to my craft and what I do. And part of being able to perform at the level that I perform at requires me to be in great physical shape. So, you know, I don't get tired as fast as somebody else might because I'm in good physical shape.
Okay, so I'm talking to Nasir, who happens to be an adult film maker. And some weeks back, he was trending in Ghana with Shugatiti because I interviewed Sugar, and Sugar said, I mean, she's not come in her life before. So he came in, said he wanted to help Sugar, and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That is why we are here. So let's go straight into the Shugatiti issue. Why did you come into the picture after my interview with Shugatiti?
I seen it pop up on my I believe they call it the For You page or something like that
Yeah.
on my Twitter account. And I believe it was Pulse Ghana that published the article and also tweeted about the article. I seen it, and it kind of had me interested. At first, I didn't really believe it. I was like, I was like, I was a bit skeptical. I know sometimes women they go on interviews and make stuff up. Not saying that that's what Shugatiti did. I don't know. But I was a bit skeptical, but I was like, if this is something that just so happens to be true, I felt like I was the person to be able to, change that for her. And so I quote retweeted back at Pose Ghana that I essentially believe that I could get it done. And from there, it went viral.
Okay, but does the woman that you do it with, do they come, all of them? Or is it just acting? So they just fake for us to believe that they are enjoying it.
Oh yeah. So me personally, like I said, I've done gonzo and a lot of improvised work. So I don't act in my movies. Everything is essentially organic as far as the sex goes. There are some theatrical elements in my films that are improvised where it might be done in the spur of the moment, such as like when I snatched Camilla Taylor's wig off, or when I did the roller skating into the pussy video. There are things like that that are theatrical, but as far as the interaction between me and the woman and whether or not she's sexually satisfied, absolutely. And if you were to interview the women, some of the women that I've worked with, they'd be able to tell you better than I can as far as what their satisfaction in the moment was like. And also, I'd like to ask, for me, it's important. It's important for me to know that the women that I'm working with are satisfied. That's just a part of what I like to do. With my experience working with women that I collaborated with. And majority of the time, more often than not, they're having more than one orgasm, multiple even.
Okay, so would you have been able to make Sugar risk that? Because I mean, she says it has never happened to her.
Would I be able to get it done? Is what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I've got no doubt in my mind. I wouldn't have even tweeted in response to them if I didn't believe I could get it done.
Okay, but were you serious with it?
Absolutely, I'm serious if she's serious.
Oh, okay. She said she's blocked you because you are being disrespectful to her.
Yes.
Were you?
I think I could have handled. I think I could have handled my interaction with her on Twitter a little better. I'll be honest. Not that this is an excuse. I'm not really looking for any sympathy or utilizing this as an excuse or anything like that. I'm just communicating my perspective. I was dealing with a lot of pressure, public opinion. A lot of people, even till this day, have been demanding and requesting that I film a video with Shugatiti, especially because of the interest. Just to tell you from some of the technical aspect of and the data that I've gotten from my perspective, the Shugatiti and King Nasir interest as far as across social media accumulated like over 100 million or 200 million impressions. We were trending in two countries in Africa. It also got a lot of interest in over here in the United States as well. And there was a lot of pressure to make it happen. And I'm very adamant on capitalizing on things when they're relevant, because sometimes moments can pass. Yeah. And concern was that if we didn't capitalize while people had interest in it at that moment, that we wouldn't be able to essentially get as much monetary gain from that moment that we could have. And so I was trying to make it happen essentially within that time frame. And I was, again, under a lot of pressure from the public and putting pressure on myself as well to essentially be ready for if she was serious.